Several weeks ago, Russell Brand was named the next head coach of Evangel University baseball. He joins us now after taking over for Lance Quisenberry. Will step down officially in a few more weeks or a few months from now as you make this transition. But Coach, how's it been? You've had a few weeks now, sort of as a head coach, in terms of this transition. I know you're recruiting and doing some things for next year, but describe what these last couple of weeks have been.
Well, it's been definitely an interesting journey. With the transition occurring after school was out, my first priority was taking care of our returnees and making sure that we knew where their scholarships stood and whether they were going to return to campus in the fall. And I'm glad to say that the majority of our guys are coming back. We have over 31, 32 guys right now that are going to be returning from last year's roster. And then my focus shifted to the recruits that Lance had already made contact with, reinitiating that process with me as the head coach, and then reaching out to some new recruits that we've had the opportunity to touch base with already.
Your tenure here, now you've been under Lance Quisenberry for 9 years, a couple of more as an assistant from Parkview prior to that. But your role, when you came over, I know that you've handled the pitching staff, but it's been beyond just that, because I know you've handled the JV team basically as a head coach of the JV squad, which I know has been important in supplying additional talent to the varsity as those players move up and get some experience. But it seems like your role has grown a little bit. You got into the third base coach's box the last couple of years, kind of serving a little more as a true bench coach. But has it developed over these past 9 years with doing a little bit more and more, and now you kind of feel at ease stepping into a head coaching role?
Well, I do feel at ease stepping into it. Through the JV program, I've been coaching close to 90, 100 games every year between the varsity and the JV schedules. So that's given me plenty of experience in both the assistant role, being at first base coach, third base, calling pitches in the dugout, giving signs whenever Coach Quisenberry wasn't able to be here for a few games. And then with the experience at the varsity level, being out and recruiting and meeting those players and handing them off to Lance was great knowledge base that I've been able to build upon. The JV program has been not just a development for the guys, but also for me. And one of the biggest growths we've seen is I've been able to reach a lot of different areas due to our assets we had with our grad assistant coaches, one of those being Eric Osner, who is going to step into my assistant role. He's been here with us 5 years, and that allowed Lance to delegate some of those responsibilities like the third base coaching to me, and that's given me an opportunity to expand my role.
And it also helps that with the success that the program has had in recent years, it makes these kind of transitions logical and a little more seamless. And as an assistant under Coach Q for 9 seasons and a few more before that at Parkview, I would imagine that your philosophies line up pretty closely, don't they?
Yeah, we do. I mean, my first coaching job was with Coach Quisenberry, and I've never coached with anyone else. Obviously, there's some differences. There's some things that we're going to tweak based upon my experience with Coach Poland and Coach Ropke whenever I was playing here at Evangel, and then even dating back to my high school and some things that we did at my high school that I really felt were effective for me as a player. But the philosophy is going to be pretty similar to what Coach Quisenberry's was that helped with recruiting. It's going to be evident that I didn't feel like we needed to make a major overhaul in our recruiting. We just needed to touch a couple very key areas to improve upon what was kind of a disappointing season this last year.
Was this past year, but boy, prior to that, it's been a great run. I know that has to be a big part of what you're looking forward to now, stepping in as a head coach for a program that was successful when you were a player, and the last few years, really from a big picture standpoint, has really been at unprecedented heights.
Yeah, it's been awesome to see what we've been able to achieve under Coach Quisenberry's leadership. In my initial interview process, I told Vice President Adara that my key was I don't want 30 wins to be a record type setting season. I want 30 wins to be a standard. And I'm proud to say that I've been a part of every 30-win season in Evangel history, whether that was as a player back in 2001 and 2002, or as the coach that we've done the last couple years. So I'm looking forward to just making that our expectation and even expanding those win totals more.
It's Evangel head baseball coach Russell Brand, the newest head coach on the Evangel University athletic staff. For EvangelAthletics.com, I'm Ed Beach.